Shout out to all of you who are still here. We got video from Real Talk Thailand detailing on why I'll never marry a Thai woman. Here's why. Well, let's just get into it.
I'm going to say something that'll probably piss off half the expat community in Thailand, but someone needs to say it. I will never marry a Thai woman. Not because I hate Thai women, not because I think they're all gold diggers, and definitely not because I can't get one. I've been proposed to 3 times by women who genuinely loved me, women who would have made decent wives by most standards. But I said no every time. And after 7 years in Thailand, watching hundreds of foreign men get married here, I'm more convinced than ever that I made the right choice. Today, I'm going to tell you exactly why. And if you're thinking about marriage here, you need to hear this before you make a decision you can't undo, because what I'm about to share isn't theory. It's pattern recognition from living this life and watching what actually happens when the honeymoon phase ends. Let me start with something nobody wants to admit. When you marry a Thai woman, you're not just marrying her. You're marrying her entire extended family's financial problems. I learned
That is very true, especially for Southeast Asia. We've heard stories about men in Thailand, the Philippines, well, mainly those two countries, but I wouldn't doubt that it would spread throughout any other developing country from Southeast Asia, like, say, Laos or Cambodia, if it's similar. But yeah, this is one of the cultural things that a lot of people, a lot of expats, well, not even expats, passport bros won't really tell you about, or if they do tell you about, they'll act like it's nothing. It's like, oh, you're just paying some bills. It's like paying some bills. It's like paying for the cable bill or your cell phone bill. No, it's way bigger than just paying for a cell phone bill.
this the hard way with my second girlfriend, Nim. Beautiful girl, genuinely sweet, loved me for real, not just my wallet. 6 months in, her father got sick. Nothing serious, but he needed treatment. 15,000 baht. I paid it without thinking twice because I cared about her. 2 months later, her sister's motorcycle broke down. She needed it for work. 8,000 baht. Again, I helped. Then her grandmother's house needed repairs before rainy season. 25,000 baht. Then her cousin needed help with university fees. 12,000 baht. I'm sitting there adding it up one day, and I realized I'd become the family ATM without even noticing. Not because Nim was scheming. She genuinely felt terrible asking every time, but because in Thai culture, if you have money and family needs help, you help. Period. And here's the kicker. This wasn't even unusual financial pressure. This was just normal Thai family life. Imagine what happens when there's a real crisis, like someone needs surgery or the right.
And note that $1 is equivalent of 31 baht. So if you want to do the math, feel free to do so. But yeah, if you're talking about 25,000 baht, I think that was one of the costs that he said. 25,000 baht, that's still about $700. That's still quite a bit of money.
Rice farm fails. Now, multiply that expectation over 20, 30, 40 years of marriage, every family emergency, every business opportunity, every cousin's wedding, every grandparent's medical bill, it all becomes your responsibility. Most foreign guys aren't mentally or financially prepared for that level of obligation, and the resentment builds on both sides when reality hits. Here's something else nobody talks about. The language barrier doesn't just affect small talk, it affects the deepest parts of your relationship. I speak decent Thai, not fluent, but conversational. And even with that, I constantly felt like I was missing emotional nuances that only native speakers would catch. Thai.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Language, to be honest, is I would say 70%, well, 30% communication, 70% non-communication, particularly with social cues and just nuances and idiosyncrasies that only really native speakers are going to understand, particularly people who grew up in said culture. And that includes English as well. So that's another thing that a lot of guys don't put into consideration before moving to a country.
Is a high context language. So much communication happens between the lines, through tone, through what's not said. When you're arguing about something important, money, family, future plans, and you're both speaking your second language, you're not really understanding each other. I remember having a fight with Ploy, my third girlfriend, about her wanting to buy a car. In English, she said she needed it for work, but I could tell from her Thai friends' reactions that the word she used in Thai carried a different weight, more like strongly desired than required. These mistranslations happen constantly, and over years of marriage, they compound. You think you're having one conversation, she thinks you're having another, and both of you get frustrated because the other person doesn't understand. I watched my neighbor, Dave, struggle with this for 3 years before his marriage fell apart. They loved each other, but they could never quite connect on the deeper emotional level because the language barrier created this permanent layer of separation. And don't get me started on trying to explain Western concepts like personal space or independence to someone whose entire worldview is built around interdependence and collective responsibility. But the real killer isn't money or language, it's expectations. Most Thai women who marry foreigners have a very specific vision of what that life will look like. And most foreign men have a completely different vision. She's thinking stability, security, taking care of family, building something together in Thailand, maybe having kids who grow up bilingual and bicultural. He's thinking,
someone will finally touch my pee-pee every night. Someone will finally make me a sandwich. Someone will finally pay attention to me. Someone will finally treat me like my great-grandmother is supposed to be treating my great-grandfather in the 1950s and prior of, I'm the king, I'm king, whatever, the house. Whatever I say goes, and if you don't like it, or if you date someone whose race I deem unworthy, you can get out and you're out of the will. And I'm kidding, somewhat.
adventure, youth, escape from Western relationship drama, someone who appreciates him, maybe traveling the world together. These aren't necessarily incompatible, but they require serious discussion and compromise. And most couples don't have those conversations until it's too late. I know, because I've had this conversation with dozens of married expats. The pattern is always the same. Year 1 to 2, everything's amazing. Cultural differences seem charming. Year 3 to 4, reality sets in. The differences start causing friction. Year 5 plus, either they figured out how to bridge the gap, or they're stuck in a marriage that satisfies neither person. The successful ones, and there are some, put in enormous effort to understand each other's worlds. They learn each other's languages fluently. They spend time with both families. They have long, difficult conversations about money, children, career goals, and what success means to each of them. But honestly, most don't do this work. They just hope love will be enough. And love is never enough when your fundamental assumptions about life are different. Here's something really dark that nobody warns you about. Once you're married, you're trapped in ways you didn't expect. If you're married to a Thai woman and living in Thailand, leaving becomes incredibly complicated. Not just emotionally, legally, and financially. Your visa status is tied to your marriage. Your assets might be in her name because of foreign ownership laws. Your social circle is probably mostly her friends and family. If the marriage goes bad, you can't just pack up and leave like you could when you were single. You're financially entangled, legally complicated, and socially isolated from other options. I've seen guys stay in dead marriages for years because untangling everything seemed impossible. And I've seen guys lose everything, house, business, savings, in divorce proceedings because they never understood how Thai family law actually works.
Oh, whoa. I thought we were going to leave America, to leave the alimony system, and to leave the divorce court anti-male laws. What happened? What happened? This sounds similar to America. This sounds similar to the West.
When you're single, you have complete freedom to change your situation if it's not working. When you're married, especially in a foreign country, that freedom disappears. And most guys don't realize how much they valued that freedom until it's gone. Let me tell you what I've observed about foreign men before and after marriage in Thailand. Before marriage, confident, social, pursuing hobbies and friendships, growing as a person, genuinely happy. After marriage, increasingly isolated from other expats, spending most social time with Thai family members they can barely communicate with, stressed about money, and gradually losing the sense of adventure that brought them to Thailand in the first place. It's not universal, but it's common enough to be a pattern. Marriage changes the power dynamic. When you're dating, you're both choosing each other every day. When you're married, there's an assumption of permanence that can make people stop trying as hard. And in Thai culture, marriage comes with very specific role expectations. The husband provides, the wife manages the household and family relationships. If you're not comfortable with traditional gender roles, this can create constant tension. I've seen foreign guys who are perfectly happy with independent, career-focused Thai girlfriends suddenly find themselves married to women who expect to quit their jobs and focus on family.
Uh-oh.
And I've seen Thai women frustrated with foreign husbands who don't
one.
understand their obligations to extended family. The relationship that worked when you were dating can become completely different once you're married. And by then, it's much harder to change course. Now, I'm not saying Thai foreign marriages never work. I know couples who've been happily married for 10, 15, even 20 years. But look at what they had to do to make it work. Tom and Ratana. He spent 2 years becoming fluent in Thai before proposing. She spent a year living in Australia to understand Western culture. They dated for 4 years, lived together for 2, and had multiple conversations with both families about expectations before getting married. Jim and Siriporn. They started a business together before marriage so they could see how they handled money and stress as a team. They agreed on a specific budget for family support and stuck to it. They alternate years between Thailand and Canada so she can maintain her career and he can stay connected to his culture. Mark and Wari. They went to couples counseling in both languages to make sure they could communicate about difficult topics. They wrote out their expectations for marriage, children, money, and family obligations before the wedding. These couples didn't just fall in love and hope for the best. They treated marriage like a business partnership and did the hard work to make sure they were compatible on every level. But
See, this is exactly what you're not going to hear from your typical passport bro video. How to make marriages actually work. No, that doesn't mean you go to the freaking nightclub or the red light district and hang out there and hope for the best. You find one, a woman who's compatible with you, truly compatible. Two, a woman who probably would have chosen you if you were back stateside. That's the other thing that people want. Or back in whatever Western country you're in, Australia, Canada, etc. Three, you treat marriage like a business. It's not Disney. It's not Love Jones. It's not any of these fantasies that a lot of women and men think that marriage is. Oh, you start feeling someone, and we just felt each other. We vibed. We vibed. We freaking vibed. I hear a man, if I hear any man saying vibe unironically, I am roasting you. I don't care. I do not care. It's not a vibe. It's a business. And that's before you have children, mind you.
Most people don't do this. They get caught up in the romance and assume love will solve problems that love can't actually solve. So why don't I get married? Simple. I found something better. I have deep, meaningful relationships with Thai women without the legal, financial, and cultural complications that come with marriage.
So he actually gets laid. Without paying money. He actually gets laid. Well, maybe he pays. I don't know. We know it is silent, but he's getting laid. And with little effort, I should say. Little effort, whether it's through his looks or the strength, or whatever you want to call it these days. Whether he gets it for free because he's a Chad, or because he's enough of a Chad, or maybe just P for P, arrange P for P, sugar baby, sugar daddy, whatever. That's his business.
I can support my girlfriend's family when I choose to, not because I'm obligated to. I can leave if the relationship becomes unhealthy, and so can she. I'm not anti-commitment. I'm pro-conscious choice. Every day I'm with someone, it's because we both actively choose to be together. Not because we signed a contract, not because society expects it, not because leaving would be complicated. That mutual choice keeps the relationship alive in ways that legal obligation never could. And practically speaking, I can focus my energy on building my business, pursuing my interests, and maintaining friendships instead of navigating complex family dynamics and cultural expectations that I'll never fully understand. I'm not saying this is the right choice for everyone, but for me, the freedom to choose my level of involvement in every aspect of the relationship has led to much healthier, more honest connections. Here's what I've learned after 7 years and multiple serious relationships in Thailand. Love isn't enough. Attraction isn't enough. Even genuine compatibility isn't enough if you're operating from completely different frameworks about what marriage means. Most foreign men fall in love with the idea of being with a Thai woman, the femininity, the respect, the escape from Western dating culture, but they don't fall in love with the reality of Thai family culture, Buddhist philosophy, or the economic expectations that come with marrying into Thai society. And most Thai women fall in love with the security and status that comes with marrying a foreigner, but they don't necessarily fall in love with Western individualism, direct communication styles, or the emotional distance from family that many foreign men expect. When the initial excitement wears off, you're left with two people who love each other but can't figure out how to build a life together because they have fundamentally different assumptions about what that life should look like. My approach now is complete honesty from day one. I tell women I date exactly what I can and can't offer. I can offer commitment, loyalty, financial support when needed, and genuine partnership. I can't offer marriage, permanent financial responsibility for extended family, or the social status that comes with being a foreign husband. Some women aren't interested in that, and that's fine. The ones who are tend to be more independent, more financially stable, and more interested in the actual relationship than what it represents.
See, that's exactly what you need to do when it comes to dating. Now, that's another thing. Say what you want out the gate, from the jump, from the beginning, and filter those who are looking for something else. That is one of the wisest things you can do in any place in the world when it comes to dealing with the opposite gender. Not trying to chase, approach, get what you can, and get shit tested along the way. You should be the one that is shit testing.
I've been with my current girlfriend for 2 years. She has her own career, her own apartment, her own friends. We spend time together because we enjoy each other's company, not because we need each other to survive. When her family needs help, we discuss it, and I contribute what I can. But it's not an automatic obligation, and she doesn't resent me when I can't help with everything. This works because we both chose this dynamic consciously, rather than assuming marriage would somehow solve our differences. Look, if you're considering marriage to a Thai woman, I'm not trying to talk you out of it, but I am trying to get you to think it through completely. Ask yourself, Are you marrying her because you genuinely want to spend your life navigating Thai family culture, supporting extended relatives, and building something together in Thailand? Or are you marrying her because the relationship feels good right now and you assume marriage won't change anything important? If it's the first one and you're willing to do the work to make it successful, go for it. But if it's the second one, you might want to consider whether what you have right now is actually better than what marriage would give you. For me, the choice is clear. I'd rather have conscious, chosen love than obligated, complicated love. But that's just me. What about you? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read it.
Shout out to him. Uh, this is Real Talk Thailand once again. Go ahead and check out his channel. Sub if you want. And yeah, all of what he said is real talk. This is just, and this is why I allowed the video to run as long as it did without interventions and roasting. Like, what is there to roast, honestly? What he said is absolutely on point, on par. And this is something that your typical passport bro will not tell you about. Whether it's Thailand, the Philippines, Kenya, the DR, Brazil, Colombia, etc. You have to, when it comes to dealing with women, even if it's for an occasional fling, you have to filter out the kind of women that will give you problems. And only deal with the kind of women who are, one, are looking for what you're looking for, or at the very least, have more to lose or as much as to lose as you do. And it's just as simple as that, honestly. Yeah, this is probably one of my shortest videos. So hopefully you all enjoyed the lesson that Real Talk Thailand gave out. And everyone else out there, always bet on X.